Hello everyone, it's Moonman coming to another fantastic video, and today what I wanted to kind of talk about was the recent controversy that happened with Facebook pretty much this week. If you haven't heard about it, it was trending on Twitter, so I'll explain for those who haven't heard. But if you could get 10 likes on this video, everyone, that would be greatly appreciated and really help out my channel. But with that out of the way, let's get started. So, where to begin with this? Because this is like a really tricky kind of situation. This is kind of a really tricky situation. So, like, I'm trying to explain it in the best way possible because I don't have the exact video. And I pretty much don't want to, like, say word for word what he said because someone will take it out of context. But I'm going to paraphrase it and just, like, first of all, I'm going to go into the backstory on the guy. So, pretty much, he is a Facebook streamer, and essentially he has 2.1 million followers, which is just, wow, that's amazing for Facebook. And considering that it's only been like 2 years since like this platform has been up, it's kind of just shocking. But essentially what he did was he was streaming Warzone as he normally does, and pretty much he said a joke that you should never say. And I feel like what made this worse was because so currently right now it is Black History Month. I don't know if the entire world celebrates it, but essentially what happened is that he said a joke that, let's just say, you should never say on Black History Month, or any month to begin with. But yeah, he pretty much ruined his career in about 10 seconds. So, actually 3 minutes, sorry, because that's how long the video is. But, so he said this. He said when he was a kid that he identified as a black man, but he was born white. So he told the teachers, can I identify as this? And they told him no, and he had to acquiesce. But I thought he was actually being real when I first saw the clip. I did. I actually thought he was being authentic, but no, it was a joke. So, pretty much, like, already really bad starting off of a joke. But it gets worse. It gets worse. So, instead of just being like, okay, just only having to say that and blah, 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 he pretty much goes off and says, oh, if they, meaning trannies, can do it, then why can't pretty much him? It's just like, pretty much he doubled down on a joke that was already offensive and pretty much made it worse. And as soon as Facebook heard about this, oh my, they pretty much like put the axe on him. I actually wanted to make this video later because I wanted to know if he was gonna actually be banned for it. But no, he actually is not banned. He is not banned, actually. He is still able to upload posts and content, so he's not banned, but he's just demonetized, which is kind of surprising. Like, I didn't think it was like YouTube, but apparently it is. So, yeah. Essentially, he can still upload, but he cannot get money from it. So, he no longer can get, like, the monthly, you know, revenue that he used to make. But honestly, I don't even think he's ever going to have a career again. And I'm going to just kind of like go into detail pretty much on why. And pretty much why I'm just like just to kind of illustrate how like streaming has kind of evolved over the years. So pretty much like with streaming, like back in like, there we go. In early, pretty much like, you know, like 2000s and like early 2010s, you could pretty much say like whatever you kind of wanted. I mean, like, if you guys remember Leafy, he was able to get like, you know, say stuff, like he was able to bully people, like he was able to do all that. The internet was kind of a different place. But nowadays, it's kind of different because, because you have like kind of two sides, and there was like two sides to kind of this argument too. Like whether it was justified that Facebook kind of, you know, gave him that like severe, like, demonetization. And there's other people who said, like, no, it's unfair, it's just a joke. But that just kind of is, like, my point, is that, like, both sides pretty much represent, like, how the internet has evolved. You got one side that's, like, very sensitive to everything. If you make, like, a joke or anything, they take it as, like, literal. Like, it is horrible that you said that thing. So, pretty much, they'll be like that. And then you have the other side, which is, jokes should remain how it was back, like, pretty much in 2009, and, yeah. So, that's how people kind of feel about this. And the reason I want to kind of talk about this is because, like, this isn't unheard of a streamer literally being like this and pretty much just saying, like, something stupid and whatever. Like, it's happened with, like, PewDiePie saying the no-no word. It's happened with companies literally saying, like, sexist, like, tweets, like Burger King's, like, the cook tweet and all that. So, pretty much, it's just... It's really just been like that pretty much, like, for the whole, like, late 2010s and early 2020s. And that's what I mean. It's really hard because, like, people can take what you have said out of context. Like, that is why, like, as a streamer, I'm very careful on what I say. Because, essentially, I could say something, and then someone could completely take it out of context and just completely make me look like I'm a bad guy. And it's not great. That's what I mean. You have to be very careful on what you say. And pretty much this guy made a 2-for-1 joke and essentially ruined his career. Like, he got demonetized, but, like, he can still make content. Still wasn't the right move. Like, it really wasn't, like... The internet nowadays is, like... I shouldn't say all of the internet, but some of it is, like, yeah, like, it's kind of, like... They're very sensitive to these kind of things. Like, that's how they kind of are. So... That's what I mean, like, you have one side that's very sensitive and one that's not. And I feel like the internet, like, is very split, like, when it comes to these situations. Because, like, you have people, like, decrying streamers. Because I remember, like, I remember when PewDiePie said the no-no word, people were decrying, saying, get rid of his channel, get rid of it. And then people were saying, oh, like, he said it while he was mad, or it was a joke, blah, 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 so it's not a big deal. And that's what I mean. Like, situations like this are not as uncommon as you think they are. I mean, definitely the context for this situation is very unique. Like, pretty much just making fun of trans people and blacks on Black History Month. Yeah, pretty much unheard of. And just the worst month to do it. Like, let's be honest. You do not make a joke like that on Black History Month. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking, honestly? Thanks, teammate. Like, what are you thinking, man? And that's what I'm like wondering to myself is, like, did he honestly think, like, before he said that? He's like, oh yeah, no, this joke's not gonna be taken, like, in a wrong way at all. It's like, yeah, it will, because it's the internet, dude. I've had some things, like, be taken pretty much, like, not me personally, but, like, streamers that I've known pretty much taken, like, out of, like, context and all that. So, yeah. Not great. But pretty much, like, what this situation just kind of illustrates is pretty much, like, that the internet is just how it's gonna be from now on. I mean, streaming is more risky than it's ever been, because you really can just ruin your career in about 10 seconds. Like, even if you're a nobody, you can ruin it pretty damn fast. You really can. You really can ruin it. Unfortunately, like, with the internet, it's just, like, you think, like, oh, you know, just ruin my career. Like, I get canceled or something. Like, you're basically, like, that's it. But no, unfortunately with it, you can pretty much never have a career again. And I don't think this person's going to ever have a career again, honestly. I don't think, like, he's ever going to get the same deal that he had, pretty much. He won't. He'll never get the same deal that he once had. He'll never get, like, the pretty much monthly money that he got from Facebook. It just won't happen ever again. And that's what I mean. It's kind of like EDP 445. Like, he literally is living like in a suitcase, essentially. Like, he is not doing that well just because of what he did. Like, he didn't do exactly this, but like pretty much that's what I mean. Once you pretty much like have like a bad like influence on the internet, like one bad joke or like one bad thing that you did, you're pretty much just absolutely witch hunted, and just pretty much you have no career. You have no promising career thereafter. You just can't. And yeah, that's how the internet kind of works nowadays. That's pretty much how the internet works nowadays. So, and that's why I wanted to kind of cover this video, was because like many people on the other side are saying this is just a joke, it's too harsh. And trust me, people can be entitled like to that. Like, people can think like, oh yeah, like this is ridiculous, this is just a joke. But that's what I mean. The internet really has always been this split, like with everything. When it comes to like either streamers or pretty much just anything that you can say. I mean, heck, there's like banned words that you can't even say on like Twitch now. Like, you can't say, oh, you can't call them blah blah blah, the V word. You can't call them that because guess what? It's too offensive to certain people. Like, that's what I mean. It's not like when Leafy was like YouTubing and you could just do whatever you dang please. You really could. And that's what I mean. Even right there, I stopped myself to like not swear. Like, that's what I mean. Like, pretty much when it comes to like just content like creation or anything, you have to be really careful on what you say and pretty much like how you kind of, come across. That's what I mean. Like, you don't want to be like, oh, like coming off as kind of like, like a mean person. That's what I mean. And you don't want to be swearing either. So it's like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, content creation and pretty much just like making content like is way different to what it was pretty much in like 2010 to like now. And that's what I mean. It's completely different. So when I say like when this happened, like it kind of just illustrated and showed me, it was like the internet is just evolving to a point where essentially they don't want people to be saying anything like really like, offensive. And I knew when I saw this, I was like, yep, Facebook is going to make him a martyr. Basically say like, and they even came out with a tweet saying like, oh, we banned him, this will never happen again. It's pretty much like, people really underestimate how much, like a tweet can really ruin just a company's image or pretty much an individual person's. Like, we've gotten to that point where like, I remember, I think it was like Venegear or something. They said a really, really sexist tweet and their sales plummeted for that month. Like, they had terrible sales. Burger King said a really sexist tweet as well, and they like pretty much were they had I think they had less people coming in because like, they were seen as sexist. And that's what I mean. That thing like that, like say for example that person did, is never going to go away. Once you have done that thing, it is never going away. It's kind of like when you lied to like a friend or something. It's like once you have lied to them, essentially that trust is broken. And yeah, it's not going to get fixed. So with this guy Jerry, pretty much, I truly do believe he is never going to have another career online. He's never going to. I think he can only do, like, he actually did make 3 tweets, but they were deleted by either him because he thought they were stupid or Facebook. My guess is probably him or probably Facebook. I'm going with Facebook more because it would probably make more sense because, like, they made that, like, kind of tweet and do damage control for what he did. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Facebook. But, yeah, he's probably never going to have another online career ever again. No matter how many fans he has. But, like, I just wanted to kind of talk about this, like, and kind of go more in depth. Because, like, it's something that I've, like, noticed as of late. That, like, you probably have noticed it with, like, your favorite, like, content creators, like, other than me, like, you pretty much have noticed that, like, they've kind of gotten more tame. And the reason I bring up Leafy so much is because, like, dude, he used to bully people. He used to bully people for content. Like, you know, like, YouTube prank videos, like, they used to be, like, abundant. Nowadays, it's not as abundant. And that's what I mean. Like, you have to, like, be careful on what you say, what you do. It's just a tricky ball game. Like, people look at, like, streaming and be like, oh, man, it's so easy. But, like, you gotta think, man. Like, it's a different ball game because you can't say half the stuff you used to. You really can't. And especially if you make a joke, I feel like, and I'll say this, comedians definitely have the hardest job on the planet right now. They really, and I'm going to be honest, they have the hardest jobs because they got to come up with jokes that pretty much just will not, like, you know, make people unhappy. So if they do, then boom, they're done. They can't do anything. But yeah, I wanted to make this longer video pretty much because, like, I saw this and I pretty much was like, yes, I have to cover this because it's not going to be the last time we hear this, and it won't be the last, unfortunately. So, if you really did enjoy this longer video, I'm sorry, this one was a really long one, but, you know, I wanted to really go into detail on this situation and pretty much just, you know, talk about it. So, if you did enjoy the video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and be sure to follow me on my socials. And also, be sure to comment, like, what your favorite part about this, and if you honestly learned anything while watching. But with that out of the way, I'm gonna get off. Have a lovely night, everybody, and see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.